Jason's back in this latest fan film, and it's not something that you want to miss out on. Welcome back to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, and this is Dave from Nerdbox, and I'm accompanied by my wife Jenn, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode, we are talking about Never Hike Alone 2. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
It's been 20 years since the last sighting of Jason Voorhees, but the number of people who have gone missing after entering the woods continues to grow. Crystal Lake resident and former victim Tommy Jarvis still struggles with PTSD from his last run-in with him and is determined to find Jason before he finds him.
Hello, welcome back. We appreciate you tuning in for another review during the 31 days in Halloween, and somehow this has ended up being Slasher Week. Not planned, but we got a lot of slasher stuff that we're covering this week. Reviews, interviews, 5 things list. It's gonna be fun. So definitely check out all the stuff that's going on with slashers. And you know what? I was a little nervous after the last slasher film that we watched, which was Vindicta. Fell off. So coming into these next few slasher films, I was a little worried, but Never Hike Alone 2 is a fan film, which is the fight of the century. If you can think of a boxing match or a kaiju monster match, this is it. It's Tommy Jarvis versus Jason Voorhees for the last time, maybe, because we're not going to tell you how it ends.
You have to watch it yourself.
Yes. Now, the original fan film came out in 2017. It was directed by Vincent DiSanti. If you have not seen it, guess what? It is free on YouTube. And it's unique in style because it's more story driven than just, hey, teens having sex and teens getting killed. This pulls you in, and you're hooked throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, I think because with these movies you see it more from the perspective of Jason. There's a lot more Jason in the movies than the stupid teenagers. Yeah,
we don't waste any time with teenage shenanigans or camp counselor shenanigans. Nope. We get right to what we need to get to in these stories. And Never Hike Alone 2 is no different.
Yeah.
Tommy Jarvis is dealing with a form of PTSD, as you would expect a character to have gone through so much trauma in his past.
Yeah.
And here we get to see adult Tommy Jarvis plagued with nightmares, knowing that something is going on in the woods, but people still think he's crazy.
Of course, because that's what they always do, right? They just victim shame. They're like, you're just nuts. There's nothing going on. But the thing is, they know that this stuff has happened in the past, and yet people are going missing, and they're like, it's just normal.
Yeah, and we have another sheriff, Rick Cologne, who is starting to think that Tommy's not only crazy, but maybe he is tied to some of the bodies that have recently showed up by Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, because that's the other thing they do. Then they turn the victim into the suspect, right? That's a famous thing that they do too. So
now, Never Hike Alone 2 is very unique as it's sort of a direct sequel to the first one. It actually takes place telling Tommy's story while Kyle the hiker is going through the woods and fighting Jason in his own film. So we have some parallel stories running, and then they eventually connect, which is really cool.
Yeah, they did it really well. I hate when you have like these parallel stories going on in movies and you don't even know what the heck's going on, or it's not told the right way. This was really good.
Now, Tommy Jarvis is played by Tom Matthews. He was in Friday the 13th Part 6, which many people think is one of the best Friday the 13th films. Tom Matthews happens to be my favorite Tommy Jarvis out of the 3 that played the role, so it's always great to see him back on screen. If you like kills, there are good kills in this, and there's a new perspective, and I don't know if this is a borderline spoiler or not, but there's body cam footage of Jason delivering some chaos, and I thought that was really interesting because if you missed it, we talked about 5 canceled sequels for Friday the 13th, and they talked about a found footage one, and yet again, Vincent DiSanti is showing that it would work by what he's doing in this film.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just gotta really pay attention to what the fans think, and you know, Vincent's great. Not only does he play Jason, but he directs this too. So
I'm telling you, the camera shots in this is wild. Like the opening minutes of this movie, it's like, this is a fan film?
yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, first off, we've thought that since the first Never Hike Alone and then Never Hike in the Snow. You can't believe you're watching a fan film. And this one is the longest of the three. This one is over an hour long, which is nice, you know, especially for a fan film being free on YouTube. But you would not believe that you're watching. I mean, I've watched really professional movies that have gone to the theater and they were not shot as well as these were. So
Yeah. Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
yeah.
Life goes on. So this movie definitely is well worth a watch. It's free on YouTube. Go check it out. The Indiegogo campaign is actually still running. So you could actually still go buy stuff from this film. So go and take advantage of that as well, because if you haven't seen these films, trust me, you're going to love it.
Yeah, you will.
That brings us to our new feature, and that is going through the tropes of slasher films. So, good slasher?
Yeah.
It's Jason Voorhees in one of his best portrayals in the franchise. Strong final girl? No final girl.
No final girl.
Final guy? Yeah. Kill bait friends? Well, no. They're all adults now. The Ahab, somebody that is hunting down this killer in the film. Yes,
Yeah.
we finally have an Ahab, and that is Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
Party, sex, and drugs? Nope. Bumbling law enforcement? Yes.
Yeah. Idiot law enforcement, right? This is what happens in movies all the time.
Chase scenes? Well, I guess it is a chase scene. It's a slow walking chase scene, but
Well, you know, Jason's a big guy. It's hard for him to run really fast.
yeah, he's been dead a long time. He's got some stiff knees.
Yeah.
And then good kills.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So what are you rating this one?
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yes, I'm gonna watch it again too, and gonna own it, and probably go and support the campaign. So, anyway, if you like slasher movies, if you like horror movies, and if you are partaking in the 31 Days of Halloween by watching the new movies that are dropping, let us know which ones you've seen already or which ones you intend to see. Don't forget, it is the In Search of Darkness campaign that is running, and you can be a part of horror history.
These are the times that try men's souls.
Police believe that O.J. Simpson is in that car.
Any requests?
Oh, hi there, Franklin.
There's one near you.
Can you explain what internet is?
The In the Search of Darkness 80s trilogy is complete. But as we all know, horror never dies. The early 90s represented an exciting, challenging, and evolutionary period for horror filmmaking.
Showtime! Are you ready?
In Search of Darkness 1990 to 1994 will dive into this era and analysis, deconstruct, recontextualize, and reframe this decade in horror.
Through Nerdbox, through the end of 31 Days of Halloween, you will get 10% off of 3 packages by clicking on the link that is in the description. A digital copy, which includes your name in the credits, a copy of the film, and the soundtrack, plus a booklet. Then there is the standard Blu-ray box set, which adds to everything that we talked about with the digital copies, and you get the Blu-ray, 2 posters, a commemorative booklet, and a few more perks. And then finally, the deluxe box set adds a t-shirt.
Come get some.
Don't forget, time's running out. That campaign ends on Halloween, so go ahead and take advantage of it. And don't forget, there's a couple things that you need to do to continue to help us grow.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Yes, remember, it is Slasher Week, so we're going to be talking about the Jester, the conference. There's going to be an interview with the director from DICE. There may be an interview with somebody from Halloween 1978. I'm not going to say who it is because we haven't recorded it yet. So tune in all week. And until the next, see ya.
Happy Halloween.